Hey, what's up, everybody? Rob Sower here with Sower Real Estate, Keller Williams Realty, Boise. And obviously, I'm in my office here in Coeur d'Alene, not down in Boise. Although I've been kind of going back and forth quite a bit. I got a couple listings coming up down there, and then of course business up here too. So I've got this new Osmo Mobile 6, and it's got this telescoping neck on it. So I was hoping this would work out pretty well, but we'll see. It's actually a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit wobbly. So we'll do what we can. Before we jump into all the stats and everything else, just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Make sure you say something, do something nice for your mom. Let her know that you love her. As you'll see down below in the email newsletter, we've got a video. It's actually a Steve Harvey video that I just thought was kind of cool. He's obviously a big fan of his mom, as am I. I'm a huge fan of my mom. Okay, so jumping into the numbers here, we've got just kind of some weird stuff going on in the market. You know, the weather's getting nicer, but I wouldn't say that it's really getting that much nicer for the real estate market or the economic market. We still see a lot of struggles for buyers with the interest rates. The interest rates are just brutal. I mean, we had hoped that we would see some interest rate relief sometime this year, and to be honest, I don't know that it's going to happen. Inflation is they're still trying to tamp that down. I don't know. It's not good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a difficult thing. One thing that I see a lot is buyers just, trying to do the best they can. If they have to buy, they're just trying to make the best scenario they can out of it. But a lot of people are just kind of holding off. They're just waiting. So, and we're seeing that reflected in our inventory and everything here. Like, for example, if I look at the Ada County market numbers, we are now up to 1.9 months of inventory, whereas last month we were at 1.5. So just in 1 month, we've seen a pretty significant increase. And you'll also notice like this gap here between the lighter gray line being the homes that went under contract during the month of April, versus the darker line being what actually closed in that month, versus the red line, which is everything that's active on the market. And you can kind of see this gap here versus the same time last year. It was a much tighter gap last year. Average home sale price is about 604. So again, it's like you've seen in my last videos, it's staying pretty flat right through here. So not a huge amount of change. And it just kind of reinforces what I was kind of indicating, that we're seeing, it's a struggle for buyers. And we are seeing that there is a significant increase in the number of homes that are on the market. Just is what it is. I don't know what to say. And then when I jump into the Kootenai County market stats, like I've said before, this market stat, the way they set it up, is not the greatest in my opinion, but we're seeing that yes, homes sold year to date has gone up from 444 up to 656, so it's decent. Median home sale price is still right around 520, whereas before, the previous month it was 510 or 507, so not a huge change. These classic stats I find to be a little bit more indicative of what's going on. And what I found to be actually really interesting on this is that if you first look at these numbers here highlighted in yellow that I have, those are just for all of Kootenai County. And you've got your number of sales, volume, average sales price, and it goes from 2023 versus 2024. And like in the number of sales, it's up 9%. In the volume, it's up 14%. And then in the average sales price, it's up 4%. So that all seems like really good, right? Like it seems like, oh wow, the market's like must be doing great. But what's really interesting, and I kind of highlighted these in these different sections that I circled. So in the number of sales, if you look at Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls and Dalton, those are kind of your main areas. For the number of sales, that's actually down 5%. Whereas Hayden, Rathdrum, these outlying areas, they're all up for a number of sales, anywhere from 29 to 40%. So what we're seeing is people are moving out because, again, affordability is just too difficult near the downtown core. And it's really not, I mean, I don't, again, these numbers are broken out differently for Ada County, but I'd wager it's probably the same kind of thing. And then when you get to volume, again, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, those areas up 4% and then down 2% for Post Falls, but you're seeing the volume anywhere from 24 up to 39% increase in those outlying areas. And average sales price though, and this is another kind of support to that, for Coeur d'Alene, it's up 10%, Post Falls is up 3%, all the others have dropped. So again, affordability, more people are moving out to those areas. Interest rates make that a big aspect, or a big part of it, aspect, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's what we're seeing in the real estate market as far as the, I don't know, just the hard numbers. I did want to touch on a little bit of some other kind of rumblings in the real estate market. You guys all know about the NAR lawsuit, or if you don't, you know, you will. You probably heard a lot of people talking about it and so forth, and we're still seeing kind of some fallout from that. And what I mean by that is people really don't know what to do yet. In fact, we just saw Zillow came out and they're saying that they're going to do like this. Wait a minute, where is it? So yeah, they're going to do like this for all the agents that work with Zillow or that buy leads from them, from what I understand. I haven't read all of the details, so, you know, do your own research. But basically, all of the agents that work with Zillow is going to require that, let's say if you're a buyer searching on their site and you say, yeah, contact an agent, you're going to have to sign an agreement with that agent to even go see a property. So you won't be able to just contact them and just go see a property. Now, granted, it's for a short time commitment, but still, it's just kind of weird, to be honest. And one thing that I like to remind people of is whether it's Zillow or any other online portal or anything, none of those platforms are going to be operating, at least I can't see how, none of them are operating in what I would call a fiduciary capacity for you as the buyer or seller. And that basically means that the protection that you have is not, it's just not there. They are not going to be looking at what is your best interest. And I'll give you kind of a real world example of something that happened, just recently. So I have some clients that are under contract on a property. And as we were going through the inspection, the home inspector said, well, looks like the roof has like 5 to 8 years left on it. Now, I looked at those roofing pictures and I pretty quickly knew that the roof, it was not good. It was really not good. So we called a couple of roofers to go out and take a look at it. And both of the roofers said, yeah, it's going to last maybe 1 or 2 years. So we went back to the seller and like I told my client, I'm like, look, you have to understand, like the home inspector is kind of a generalist in a sense, like they are not the expert in roofing. So to them, they see granule loss and some of these other things, and that's, hey, it's going to be, 5 to 8 years in their estimation. Once we got the roofers out there, both of the roofers said, one of them said, yeah, it's toast. The other one said, hey, you've got like 1 to 2 years left on it. So we went back and so originally my client was like, oh, well, the roof is fine. If you don't have somebody that understands what they're doing and is willing to tell the client what they need to hear so they can decide what they want to do, I mean, like, for example, in that particular situation, my client was willing to say, hey, I'll bail on this transaction if that roof doesn't get fixed. Because once we were able to demonstrate to the buyer that it was going to be something that was potentially a $15,000 or more bill that was going to be coming up, I mean, that allowed him to make the decision that was best for him. And fortunately, we got it negotiated in. We got a bunch of other stuff negotiated in as well. So it worked out really well for them. And again, not to say, hey, we're the best or anything like that. It's just because any good realtor is capable of doing that. The online portals, I would argue, yeah, not so much. So just keep that in mind as you're, seeing all of this fallout. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but and it'll really be interesting to see how Zillow with their buyer program or what other online sites do, whether it's realtor.com or whatever. So let me see any of my other notes here. Yeah, interest rates still not dropping. Oh, one thing I will say, I've been following this guy by the name of George Gammon, the Rebel Capitalist. Check him out if you get a chance. He's got he's just touches on a lot of really good stuff. He's super smart on the economy. I am definitely no economist, but I really like listening to his take on things. And he gets a little bit into crypto and real estate and everything else. So it's just kind of I don't know, really, really good stuff. And so he's talking about what he's seeing coming up, just stuff that I think might be helpful for you. And and I am in the process of getting my Washington real estate license as well. So we're just kind of expanding a little bit. As you know, we have Austin down in Boise for the times that I'm not there, so that property can be shown and all that kind of stuff, which has been awesome. And pretty soon here we'll be able to cross the border into the Spokane area as well. So anyway, all right, guys, listen, I'm gonna jump off. It's way longer than my typical video, so hopefully it was helpful for you guys. If there's anything that you need about real estate or just questions you have about what's going on in the market, we're not here to tell you what to do. But would love to, hear what it is that's important to you and maybe make a few suggestions. And if it turns into a real estate deal, great. If not, that's fine too. So anyway, have a great Mother's Day weekend, guys. Thanks. Bye.